G'day, Ben from Melbourne here, and we're going to continue our Nick Cave journey through the great man's career. But first, a little bit of housekeeping, because as usual, I've forgotten some stuff that I had in previous videos. So we'll just quickly run through that. First of all, CD here, Nick Cave, Mick Harvey, and Ed Clayton Jones. This is And the Ass or the Angel, Readings and Music, and that's exactly what it is. It's Nick Cave reading from his book And the Ass or the Angel, with backing from Mick Harvey and Ed Clayton Jones and Nick Cave on piano as well. It's one of them ones where it's quite enjoyable, but I wouldn't say it's for the fly-by-night fan. You got to like the book too. I think that helps. But anyway, 1998 that came out. And next was the DVD, which is a compilation of all of the Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds videos or film clips. And that came out, I would have to say, around 1998 as well, according to the interwebs. And yeah, this is great. It's got everything you would want on it. Red Right Hand, early stuff like In the Ghetto, Deanna, Mercy Seat. Great commentary in between as well, which is hilarious, because basically it seems like even though they have great videos, Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds do not like making them at all. Right, let's get into the records. So this was probably the longest inactive period musically for Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds so far. The previous album, The Boatman's Call, came out in 1997, and there was no new music until No More Shall We Part. Apparently this was due to Nick Cave having a bout of writer's block, but whoa, when the floodgates open, this No More Shall We Part, brilliant record. Very lush, very narrative driven songs, quite wordy even for Nick Cave. But a lot more strings come to the fore, and I think that's due to also Warren Ellis becoming a much more prominent member of the Bad Seeds. So there's the back cover there. Great record. So you've got on this the single As I Sat Sadly by Her Side, Hallelujah, which used to get played live quite a bit. The other single, 15 Feet of Pure White Snow, quite an entertaining film clip if you want to YouTube that. God Is in the House, which he was playing live for quite a while, and a couple that I really like, the Sorrowful Wife and We Came Along This Road. Really, that's kind of cinematic sounding song. So here's the inners of those, and there's, as you can see, they've become quite a large band there. Oh, and that's right, and the McGarrigle sisters sing backups on this as well, which is fantastic. There we go. And McGarrigle sisters, as far as I know, English, beautiful sister harmonies from the English folk scene. Been around quite a while, and yeah, they're used so beautifully on this record as well. Album, there we go. So quite a strong comeback after a few years in the wilderness. No More Shall We Part.
There never was no other. Hope you understand. Till we came along this road. Till we came along this road. Till we came along this road.
Righto. And then one that seemed to be not so popular with fans and critics alike, which is unusual because Nick has always been a bit of a critic's darling, and that is Nocturama from 2002. Myself, I still think it's a really good record. I don't think it's on par with a lot of his other stuff, but hey, a bad Nick Cave record is still a pretty damn good record for anyone else. It's pretty, I want to say a better word than basic, but it is. And when I say basic, I don't mean spare or there's a lot of space in the songs. I just think the songs are a lot more straightforward. So opens with Wonderful Life. There's the duet Bring It On, which he sings with the great late Chris Bailey of the Saints. Chris Bailey actually toured with Nick Cave. I was lucky enough to get to see this tour with Chris Bailey opening, and Calexico were the second band, and they were magnificent too. And if you watched my Dots and Loops video, you'll also know that I got a backstage pass. Ooh, hanging out with the rock stars. Yeah. Babe I'm on Fire, which takes up an entire side, and a hilarious film clip. And my favourite, There Is a Town, on this one. I still think it's, not a bad record at all. See what we've got on the inside. This would be the last record with Blixer Bargeld in the band. Blixer probably rightly claiming that he didn't know where he fit into the Bad Seeds anymore in this, because it was a lot more straightforward songwriting. Blixer probably found it hard for him to bring his avant-garde style into this album. Also features the great Blockheads, of course. Just trying to see which they're on. About 4 or 5 tracks here. I won't go totally into which ones because it will be boring me matching numbers with song titles. Another little side note, this is recorded in Sing Sing in Melbourne, in Richmond, and also in Olympic Studios in London. But yeah, produced by Nick Lune, might be the first one they did together. I could be wrong, could be in No More Shall We Part as well. So here's the inners. So yeah, sadly this was it with Blixer. Probably could have done a little better than just sending Nick a email to say he quit the band. His reasons, if you've ever seen the doco 20,000 Days, were that he couldn't balance 2 bands and a family as well. But, never hurts to have the personal touch.
And in that sound, where I was born, I would dream that one day I would leave and cross the sea. And so it goes, and so it seems that God was only in a dream.
God, I'm an idiot. I'll show it at the end. Don't worry about it. It's going to be a DVD. Right, so people were probably a little bit, what's Nick going to do next? He's got no Blixer Bargeld. He's released what the critics kind of thought was slightly disappointing record. And then, bang, double record, Abattoir Blues The Lyre of Orpheus, which came out in 2004. What an absolute blockbusting gangbuster of a record, if I can use those very vague terms to describe it. This one, he has the assistance of three gospel singers to really reach that fever pitch of, you know, the Nick Cave we know and love in full flight. Two different albums together. One album is a lot more big sounding record, intricate songs, and then there's the Lyre of Orpheus, which most of that record is got a much more spare, more ballads, even a bit poppy as well. So I'll just show you the inners of this. Beautiful cover as well. It was a great tour. So here's the Abattoir Blues. Sit back there. So of course, this has got Get Ready for Love, powerhouse song, Hiding All Away, There She Goes My Beautiful World, Nature Boy. Yeah, great. What a strong comeback record. And this is really the record where Mick Harvey was kind of like, hey, remember me? I can play some goddamn awesome guitar too. He really shines on this. Is amazing. And I'm not sure if he's on the album, but he's definitely part of the tour. Was what's his name? Jim. He's from Gallon Drunk. And I cannot read that writing because it's incredibly small. And I just dropped it. Going really well. So if you can read that, he's in there. The Gallon Drunk dude. And he played mainly keyboards, a little bit of guitar. Nice little photos on the inner there. Whole stack of unreadable wordage. And then the second album, Lyre of Orpheus. And highlights on this one for me is Breathless. Easy Money's a ripper. Supernaturally. Yeah, not a bad song on this record, but you know, I'm probably biased because I've now made, 4 maybe videos of just Nick Cave records, so possibly a little bit of bias.
Painted the cathedral when you heard the solemn knell. I was not sitting with the gargoyles. I was not swinging from the bell. I was hiding. I was hiding all the way. I was hiding. I was hiding all the way.
So that was just like blew everybody's mind. Amazing tour, which was also documented in this awesome little set here, which you've got it on live at the Brixton Academy and Hammersmith Apollo. 2 different shows. One's from the Nocturama tour and one's from the Abattoir Blues Laura of Orpheus tour, plus also all of that on CD as well in this great little set. Yeah, look at the man go. So little groovy booklet here with some tasty snaps. There's Mick Harvey going, look at me, I'm a guitar god now. Pre-beard Warren. James Johnston, that's the dude's name from Gallon Drunk, on some keys there. There we go, and then this is the CD part. DVD, very similar, awesome stuff. And the thing that I forgot was I also have the God Is in the House live DVD from the I'm gonna have to sneak a peek because my brain's gone blank. From the drum roll, everybody wait, can't do the drum roll myself one-handed. Holy shit, this is unorganized. There we go. No More Shall We Part tour. That one. Sorry about that. Not my usual professional self. But this is fantastic as well. It's also got a cool No More Shall We Part recording sessions doco and yeah, promotional videos of 3 of the singles. Really good stuff. Nick Cave, always worth seeing live. Every time I see him, always brings something different. Like his records, he's always searching for a new way of doing things, and yeah, for my money, successful pretty much every time. Right, so everybody's like, what the hell is he going to do next after a double album, gospel singers, James Johnson, the new Jimi Hendrix, Mick Harvey on guitar? If you don't know Nick Cave, just take that comment with a grain of salt. Anyway, he comes to the fore much more than he used to. So what does Nick Cave do? He goes, screw the bad seeds. I'm just going to take the core of drummer Jim Scalvanus, Martin P. Casey, and Warren Ellis, and I'm going to grow a moustache. We're going to call ourselves Grinderman and have a well overdue midlife crisis. This is the one where the pianos get put away and the guitars get turned up to 11 and they make a hell of a racket. Check those hairy bastards out. So yeah, Get It On, No Pussy Blues. The song Grinderman's creepy and great creepy. And then yeah, rocks out with songs like Honeybee, Love Bomb, and yeah, When My Love Comes to Town is another one of those great eerie ones. And that's just plain black. Isn't this useful, this inner sheet with nothing but that on it? I'm sure that's environmentally sound. But anyway, fantastic album, unexpected left turn, and yeah, really great live show. I saw Nick Cave do a Grinderman set followed by a Nick Cave set with this band at the Forum, which was fantastic. Really, really good.
Now I down to my baby's house. Yeah, I sat down on the step. Said 2,000 years of Christian history, baby, and you ain't learned to love me yet. My baby looked me in the eye. My name's not bitten to the quick. She said she used to love me all night long, but you've gotten so thin and thin.
So then we're like, is that the end of the Bad Seeds? No, I'm here to tell you, it's not the end of the Bad Seeds. Then come this baby, Dig Lazarus Dig. Now, this would probably not sound the way it does without this. Very influenced, a lot more shorter songs, more guitar driven than a normal Bad Seeds record, in my opinion. Oh, by the way, this was from 2008, but still, really good, but doesn't seem to be a favorite with Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds, just by the fact that since this tour of this album, I can't recall any shows I've seen since where they've done any of these songs, and they usually do, cover a decent amount of ground. They'll feature whatever the new album is that they're touring on, but they still manage to pack in quite a bit of back catalogue in there as well. But this usually gets overlooked. But it's got some good stuff on there. The song Dig Lazarus Dig's fantastic. I like Albert Goes West. Midnight Man's cool, and the sort of longer mood piece, More News from Nowhere, great song. Here's again, not working too hard on the inners here, but what are you gonna do? Pretty boring ass labels, but the music is what we've come here for. So, little booklet. So still retaining the hairy slug on the top lip there. Nick Cave pretending he knows how to play guitar. Wordage. And more wordage and some snaps in the back there of a half-bearded, half-clean-shaven Bad Seeds. And that was how they rounded off the 2000 Oh, no, what do we say? I hate the noughties. Let's call it the O's.
A little Jenny, she wakes up from a dream. Looking like a jawbone down the waistband of a jeans. Oh yeah, well, Mr. Sandman, he could recite today's lesson. And he says there ought to be some kind of law against me going down the street. Yeah. A little Jenny pops up and she says, we're gonna have a real good time tonight. Ooh, yeah, tonight.
Just a few other bits and pieces which came before this. A Nick Cave, another sort of not spoken word or a lecture or something, or I don't know how you would describe it. It's called The Secret Life of the Love Song. Nick Cave performs a couple of songs on here: West Country Girl, People Ain't No Good, Sad Waters, Love Letter, and Far From Me. And he basically is in between those performances discussing what a love song is. And what he thinks a love song is very different from what the mainstream thinks a love song is. So that's in that like groovy, weird, hunky-dory in the middle CD. But that's quite interesting. It's not the sort of thing you'll, play every night, but pretty cool. And also in the 2000s is where Nick Cave and Warren Ellis began their collaborations on film soundtracks, starting with the great film The Proposition. And I'm just going to have a little cheat and look. 2005, this one came out. Now, I don't have all of these. I'm sure the doyen of the box set, Mr. Mike PC31, you can check him out. He has a plethora of Nick Cave and Warren Ellis film soundtracks. I think he could have them all. I might only have pipped him on the Ghosts of the Civil Dead one, but he's got all the ones after that and more, and on vinyl too. This one's Assassination of Jesse James. There's Nick Cave there as he appeared in the film, and great film until that scene, and then it just took me totally out of the film because it was kind of like, oh, there's Nick Cave in the olden days. There we go, CD. Righto. That's it. We'll see ya for the 2010s.